I'm gonna hit the record button just for the sake of time, because I know how it is being a parent, things like that. And when you have a very, 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 very special guest, special edition of the Black Rasslin Podcast. What is? Hold on. I'm just going into the intro, and look who decides to pop up
To
on
be
the
on the show.
background.
You're not allowed to be here. You don't even
Yeah,
know.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on, Brian H. Waters.
Uh,
Are you good?
no, I was good. I was just making sure. I was just doing PR work. You know
Well,
how it is. Cap. Wait, we ain't live, right?
Brian H. Waters, we're not live, but I literally had just hit record. I
We're
had
live.
just started getting into my intro, and you popped up, just having a because I know again, Miss Amber Rodriguez has a heart out. I don't want to take anybody's time, but I know what life is like. So I said I'm gonna hit record, and we're just gonna do a show.
This
but
is
actually,
amazing.
no, it's just this is what we're gonna do. This is how it's gonna be this week. But I do want to say, Brian, thank you, because it's been a minute. I think over
Of course, my brother.
Doing my research, doing my Googles on Amber Rodriguez, it's funny. I didn't realize that you had been gone for so long, and you actually came back 2022. Because I feel like in my own, making sure I'm up on everybody. The last couple years, the one name I kept hearing is Amber Rodriguez. It's the one that I want to see, doing things. And I think it's interesting now. I knew the Renegade Queen, but I was on the Instagram. I was watching a couple of videos. Now, Renegade Queen is, I don't want to say gone. Like that's not what's popping right now. We got a Mad Esthetician going on right now.
I'm basically a young Black woman version of Mick Foley with my many gimmicks.
No, I love, but wait, so wait, because I can only imagine, how, pro wrestlers being attached to, the gimmick, the person that they are at that time. Has it been easy to transition out of the Renegade Queen and into the Mad Esthetician, especially in ring? Are there different things you're trying to do to really make this character a whole being?
Well, what I hope happens is that when I'm old and I have dementia, that I actually believe that I'm this. No, let me stop. I rebuke that thought. No, but
it's all good.
The thing is, like, it kind of translates better now because I am actually an esthetician.
Right.
I came back to wrestling. I took a break in 2015, came back to wrestling late 2019, 2020. But I was still kind of trying to find my footing. I was playing catch up. My career was literally on pause for like 4 years.
Right.
And so I came back and I just, threw this thing together because before I left, I was doing this whole evil queen thing. So I was like, let me pick this up. But like, then I look around and I'm like, oh, everyone's a queen now. It's like a thing, So I'm like, I didn't come back to just fade into the background. Mm-hmm. So one day I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and I, on a side note, I was just kind of talking about how I, am pursuing becoming an esthetician and how class was going and how my apprenticeship at the time was going and everything. And, at the same time, I was also discussing how frustrated I was getting with wrestling. And like I said, I didn't come back just to blend in. And I was like, man, I'm just going to pour hot wax on my opponents one day. And I was like, wait.
There you go. No, yeah.
So that's kind of like where it came from. And I was like, wait, like this is what I do. So why not tie it into the ring? I mean, you see, like, for example, Britt Baker, how she's a dentist, and, pulled a little inspiration from that. But then I was like, I want this to be someone who fell off the deep end. Like, I don't want it to just be a wrestler who is also an esthetician. Like,
right.
What if this woman believed that she can actually fix people and make people perfect, and she had like a God complex. So
I'm sorry, I wanted because I saw there were quotes, because I love. Again, I would think you were on Hardy Wrestling Podcast, and you mentioned the idea. You mentioned it wasn't just, being everybody's the performer, everybody's a professional, you like being a character, and I appreciate you actually embodying the character on Twitter, I'm seeing like, there's quotes and you've got like Dexter quotes. And I was wondering, were you watching like the Dexter reboot and you said, I could do this, are you a fan of horror? Like, how deep is this appreciation of, is this a one-to-one? Is this you as Dexter?
I love horror. Like,
okay.
I had to make sure I sound that out. I love horror.
We got you. We got you.
It's a family show.
It is not. She said it is not, but I do want to make sure that
it is today.
Facts. But we have some crazies out there. She said horror. All right, just to be clear.
But yeah, I love gore, some good old blood and guts. I like Dexter. I like Dr. Death on Peacock. That holds a lot of inspiration. For those who don't know, it's about this guy who's a doctor that believes he's like God's gift to medicine, but really he leaves people either permanently injured or dead. And I was like, that translates so well. So yeah, and going back to what you said, or reiterating what I said on Steph Hardy's podcast, like if I wanted to watch just like competitors, I'd watch like MMA or amateur wrestling. Like you watch pro wrestling to escape reality. You watch pro wrestling to get away from day-to-day stuff. I don't watch wrestling to see, just some average person like just doing something anybody could do. You watch it to get away and see characters that are larger than life. It's what drew us all into it to begin with. But yeah, huge horror fan. It plays a huge part of my character, and it's fun because I get to just let it all out. I'm sorry, I need to change the battery in my smoke detector. But it just gives me the chance to like let it all out and like be as crazy as I want to be and troll people on Twitter.
No, 100%. I think
and then Brian gets mad because I'm probably going to end up saying something that's going to get me canceled. But that's what I pay him for.
Speaking of maybe also getting canceled, but not really, some of the fellas have hopped on. So I think while we have Amber Rodriguez, let's just add Drip.
Why you got to cancel when I show? Oh, shit.
We, shouts out to the squad again.
Got at the same time, like.
Well, you know what it is. It was we were having again, started the intro to the show, and Brian H. Waters pops in, like, whatever. We've only got so much time with the former Renegade Queen and now the Mad Esthetician, who's got a couple of matches coming up this weekend. I saw the 25th.
Yes.
You're gonna be at Vixen's, Tainted Love?
This Friday, Reality of Wrestling and Title Match Network proudly present Tainted Love. Oh, you got the flyer.
I'm trying to do my work this time around, Amber Rodriguez.
By Vixen's Wrestling Revolution, and I will be there to stalk Mia Friday and dismember her. So watch that. And then the next day, on the 26th, I will be at the Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. Shout out to Jazz and Rodney Mack. I'll be there dismembering Jasmine Allure.
I love it.
Check that out. It's in Texas.
Big Texas weekend for you. You've been real busy during the pandemic.
Yes.
I like that.
I literally got a job and brought it into my other job. So yes, I've been very busy.
Is that tough? Has that been tough? Being an esthetician, getting this job, and still maintaining your career as a pro wrestler.
Oh, it's a lot. I have mental breakdowns at least twice a day, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? So like the biggest thing in what I do as an esthetician, it's very rewarding because, just all wrestling stuff aside, like I genuinely love what I do. I love making people feel beautiful. One of my favorite types of clients to work on is new mothers, because I've been there and I know how it is when you look in the mirror and you're like, God, what happened? And then, just to be able to work with them and, have them look in the mirror and be happy with what they see and satisfied with what they see. Because yes, being a new mom is a wonderful thing, but we all have, unfortunately, the body dysmorphia that comes with it. So if I could be able to aid anyone in that, then it's all worthwhile. And then to be able to tie it into my other love wrestling, and with that, it's so rewarding just getting to entertain people and sometimes make people uncomfortable, but just getting to get reactions out of people, and the fact that I'm able to have the two go hand in hand is great.
What I'm sorry, you want to say something, Fan?
Really quick, as a recently balding man, what tips would you give for the extra skin that I have to take care of now as an old washed man?
So you can shop AshleyReneeBeautyCompany.com. I actually have my very own hemp and grapeseed oil blend that moisturizes the follicles and aids in stimulating hair growth. I can't work miracles, but I've seen good results.
Okay.
Imagine Fam shows up one day
listen,
for full.
Listen, if I'm gonna pull a full Jadakiss and come just show up with a brand new headline. Hey, I'm bugging on tonight. We get down mania. I'm gonna have a regular.
Hey.
Math is gonna be so jealous now.
He will be mad. He'll be trying to get his beard going. That's
It'll be like, give me 2 bottles and just like.
Sheesh. I was also wondering, in terms of you being a busy person who also is embodying a whole new character during the pandemic, it's got to make it easier for you to film these because you got cars in these videos. You walking with the blood was on the outfit, and I was like, no, you really went in. It was damn near right. It was what I used to grow up watching as a kid when somebody was coming to WWE or WCW, whatever. You know what I mean? It's I guess it's good for you. You're able to have that time to take out to film this stuff to actually get this character going.
Everyone does, and this isn't to I don't know, crap on anybody. People do what makes them happy. But for me and my taste and my professionalism, because I'm a professional, I'm not a fan of the selfie promo in the corner with the, what I mean, with the vertical phone. People don't even know how to do landscape. So I like to get creative and get out of the box. Like you said, I love vignettes. I'm a huge fan of vignettes. I feel like they are a dying art, and not a lot of people on the indies are doing them. People on TV do them all the time because, of course, they have the resources. But people on the indies, I feel like they should kind of, seek out some resources and, just get creative. And that's something that, it kind of took me a while to get, and that's another thing I was actually grateful for during the pandemic. I had time to think, you know what I mean? And just sit back and get really creative. And so shout out to Marcellus, Bama Boy Book. That's my guy out here. He captures me hurting people. And so shout out to him, man. And he's just so creative and very artistic. And so I'm a huge fan of vignettes. I love Bray Wyatt's stuff when he was first coming in, especially just things that get the wheels turning and make you wonder, who is this person? What are they doing? Even for the one that you just mentioned that just dropped, you can check it out on my Twitter.
Right.
It's just something to get you asking those questions. What's in the bag? What did she just do? Where is she going? So.
I like that you mentioned Bray Wyatt. I was going to ask who else that you were fans of, specifically in terms of getting into character in the vignettes. Is that the main inspiration right now?
Yes. Yes, that's one of them. Just like I said earlier, huge horror movie fan. I love a good thriller, Michael Myers movies and Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. And I just love the mystery of the villain, a part of you, maybe not everyone, but for me anyway, I just want to know more about them, their history, why did they become this way? Right. So huge fan of stuff like that.
Has being able to get into this character, I don't want to say made you love pro wrestling more, but it's maybe reinvigorated your creative side for pro wrestling.
It seems like it has fun. Yeah, it makes it so much more fun. Because I get to just kind of let loose and let my hair down and be a little silly, be a little creepy, be weird, scare some kids, scare my own kid. Why not? So it's fun for me because I get to I get to push others also to step outside of their comfort zone and, like get their face bitten or, act like I'm going to stab them with a syringe.
I was saying, you come around the corner with that syringe. I mean, that's
syringe.
That's the big thing with you, Drip. You don't know what's going to happen after that.
No, just like if someone would pull that out of nowhere, I'd be like, watch the eyes or something. Like I'd be paranoid to like where can like
it's a real syringe.
Place. That's.
Are other pro wrestlers like are they kind of like legit taken aback sometimes? Like at least when the syringe comes out, like
they'll be fine.
They'll be at some
like
point,
in movies, whenever they pull out their syringe, they always shoot it first. Like, all right, yep, it works. Like,
yeah. It's always a long stream too.
Yeah.
I did. There's another event that I saw that Brian H. Waters put me on to. You've got in April.
Yes.
With Camille. Now this is your first. She's the NWA Women's Champion currently, correct?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Is this your first time interacting with
Second
the
time.
Second time?
This will be a follow-up appointment.
Okay, because I'm wondering, we there's a lot of this talk about, forbidden doors and things like that, and I mean, you have what I feel is like something that could enter into anywhere right now. You again, literally, you've got the demo reel. You're creating that on your timeline right now. Do you have any aspirations to hit one of those federations? Do you think about any federation that you would want to go to more currently?
There is something in the works that I cannot talk about. But all I can say is just, stay tuned.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to ask like a night of the week. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. We have to deal with our own nonsense out there. And the last thing I want to do is I don't want to get Amber Rodriguez in trouble only because she might be around that corner someday and I might be walking from, getting some sneakers and getting see exactly, she who knows what type of time she might be.
You're gonna be the star of the next vignette. It'll be you walking to your car, and then all of a sudden,
I would with everything going on with all the work you've been putting in, Amber. I'm wondering, who are some of the favorite people that you get to work with in ring?
That I've worked with so far. That
you've worked with so far. We can get to what you want to work with, but so far.
I gotta put over my sister Nyla Rose. It's always a pleasure working with her. That sounded a lot more sarcastic than I wanted it to.
But I think because Nyla, we've spoken about on here. She held a major title. It doesn't feel like she got a lot of the credit that she should have during that reign, during that year. It's it's frustrating, but she did.
As we discussed the BRP 50 last year when making the list. She had a lot of wins. That's what propelled her to a higher spot on the list. Just
right.
She was doing the work. It just wasn't being seen as much.
Yeah, a lot of people were sleeping on it. Low key.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I mean she's a gem. I mean, just everything she brings to the table, like the representation she brings to the table, but I'm biased. But yeah, to answer your question, who else? It's not really a specific person here, but I love working for Championship Wrestling from Memphis or Memphis Wrestling. That's a place that's kind of become a home to me. So shout out to Justin and Maria Starr and David Marquez and just everyone behind that project because it's an amazing promotion to work for, right. And it's just great. I love that they're they give so much creative freedom.
I saw the promo you cut. She said what? She said I had to just spend $250 on these nails. I had to check out my new lashes and this. But again, it was because you had beef. Again, I don't know. I appreciate the work on the mic. I really do.
I love them, man, and shout out to Austin Lane too because it's just everyone who believes in me there and just lets me, just go out there and talk your talk and. I'm like, all right. So, but yeah, it's a great place to work, and I just love everything about it. So,
you were going to start into who's on the list. Who you wishing you could work with in the near future.
I've had my eyes on Trisha Dora for a while.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. The Woad. Because why not?
Right. Right.
She looks like she could go for a BBL. Not that she needs any more, but
Nah, hey, do your work. Do your work.
I'd love a friendly competition with my sister Roche Chanel.
Okay.
Who else? I don't know, man. There's so many. My mentor, Black G's, just for fun. We got to go at it.
What you got? I mean, I think you have to do those student versus teacher battles at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle, you and I do it
you
every
mentioned
week.
my promos, and I have to give him his flowers because that is just one thing that he's always embedded in me, and that I took from him. So, yeah.
Was that something that was always in you? I mean, or you've been working on it for a while. Are you cutting promos like in the shower? Is your kids like, hey, what's going on? Mom's just working right now. I'm trying to get ready for next week. How does that work come out?
Here's the thing. Like, even when I first started, I would always say, my wrestling is one thing, but like, I can run my mouth, man. Like, I can talk. Like, that comes easy. Like,
I like that.
It's the one thing I don't have to worry about. I don't script any of my promos. I don't, like, most of them, like, not to sound cocky or brag, but most of them are done in one take. Like you've seen on Memphis, I do live promos all the time, and it's just here and there. Like, it's my favorite thing to do. It's my absolute favorite thing to do. I love bashing people to their faces.
I hate to say, again, because I don't want to say it's a lost art. It's just, it's changed so much. Watching pro wrestling my entire life on Monday nights, just the way it's changed over there. And then when you add different organizations or, studying tapes, the art of a good promo and getting a character over is key.
What the best thing is, a lot of people like will mention other wrestlers or like, oh, so-and-so's great on the mic, watch them. But it's like, sometimes, like, not every piece of inspiration comes from wrestling itself.
100%.
Like, my favorite inspiration for promos are rap battles.
I was about to ask, is there like a song or a movie, a scene?
It's not a specific like song or anything, but just rap battles in particular. Like, just watching them go at it back and forth, their body language, like they look like they hate each other. Like,
facts, yeah.
It gets intense. So that's like something I always recommend to people that ask me about promos. I'm like, watch some rap battles. Like,
do you rap?
I wish I could.
You never tried?
I'm not gonna put myself out there right now. But like,
you could probably fake it. You could.
So when I was so I'm in the military also, right? So like on deployments, I would pass the time by freestyling.
If you want to freestyle, now's the time. I'm mad you don't want to. That's funny.
If there was something stronger in this cup, maybe I would. But yeah.
Next time, when we have you in, when someone gives us enough money so we can have a live podcast and Amber Rodriguez is there, we'll have a little bit of a brown bottle or something, and then we'll
get Brian a beatbox.
We'll get Brian.
It's the only way I'm doing it.
I'm with it. Matter of fact,
Brian,
let me take some notes.
you can have your job back if you beatbox.
Right? Yeah, right. We'll bring you back up from backstage, Brian. Let me make some notes over here about this now. This is great. This is great. And what do you have time to take in pro wrestling? Like, because I end up not being able to watch everything I want to watch, but as an active pro wrestler, are you trying to consume as much as you can, or are you more focused on you?
A little bit of both, if that makes sense. Like, I watch it when I can. Me and Brian was actually talking about this yesterday. I was like, because he's like, when's the last time you watched Raw? And I was like, right. Like, I watch the pay-per-views. I keep up with the pay-per-views. Yeah. I keep up with, the highlights. I watch like highlights on YouTube, but I don't really have time to sit and watch the full show. You know what I mean? I watch a lot of indie wrestling. I got to check out the competition. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, is it more of a fan or to study and learn?
Yeah, you got to see what else is out there, brother. But yeah, I watch a little bit of everything. I don't really I'm not really one particular brand and that's it kind of person. I never understood that mindset either. You gotta watch it all.
I grew up as a fan of pro wrestling at a time where I could watch WWF Saturday afternoon and then WCW Saturday evening and then catch stuff throughout the week. WCC, all that stuff was available. I just loved pro wrestling. When the Monday Night Wars happened specifically, I was like, it's cool, but I'm still flipping through to see, whenever Lucha was on or whenever The Rock was on, But so I do. So even back then, I've seen a couple times you mentioned Chris Jericho's debut in WWE is like that one moment. Were you watching a lot of WWF at the time, or were you bouncing back and forth?
So I said the context behind that was I was saying that's my first wrestling memory.
Memory.
Yeah, when he debuted and interrupted The Rock's promo. It's like my first memory of wrestling ever, and I was like, this stuff is great. So I don't know what it was about that. I mean, The Rock himself, right? But then also like Chris Jericho, especially at that time, he kind of
with the hair and the jacket and the pose down. Yeah,
oh,
I was gonna say, like, I'm
The
hearing
face.
the sounds with the numbers counting down. Like, I mean, it's a huge. What if you're flipping by and just happen to be on it? Whatever's going on has got to be amazing, right?
Yeah. So I was.
Well, you got one guy who's like in the Versace, and the other's like, is he from the future, or like,
Right.
where is he supposed to be from? Like,
who is this man? Jesus. Do you is that we were talking a couple of weeks ago on the podcast about comfort wrestling? When you're tired of again trying to keep up with everything, you just want to throw on good match. Some maybe you haven't seen in a while. Some is there like a match or a pay-per-view that you go back to when you just want to get back into what made you passionate about pro wrestling, what you love about pro wrestling? I don't know. It sounds like, is there like a definitive match or a definitive pay-per-view for you as a wrestling fan?
There's Trish versus Mickie James at WrestleMania, because that match was magical.
Right.
And Trish versus Lita Unforgiven 2006.
That's
Those
awesome.
are like my two go-tos when I'm like,
both in the same year, 06.
Yeah, man. Like, just something about those two matches, like Trish and Mickie. I mean, that feud, like,
He was awesome.
The single white female
because
feud.
women didn't get feuds really,
Right.
besides her and Lita. Like, it was rare, that you saw women with an actual story, and let alone a payoff. Like, so it just the history of that match, and then Mickie, her emotions, and just like Crazy Mickie has a lot to do with the Mad Esthetician. Crazy Mickie and Victoria have a lot to do with how I constructed this character. Just Victoria. Especially Victoria, after she hits her finish, like the head twitch,
right?
Yeah,
just things like that, and just little mannerisms like that. God, it's amazing.
Damn.
So yeah,
I used to love Victoria. I mean, I felt like I was one of the few people that was really into Victoria, especially back then. Always a fan.
She was so underrated,
right?
Very underrated,
right? Because she could go too. Like once it was time to actually, once that bell rung, she was a problem in that ring as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry Lawler always be like, she hasn't been right since that house fell on her sister. It was just like she was supposed to be like that crazy, like the Wicked Witch.
And then they just had her dance.
After that, it was just like go.
On that sour note, we Amber Rodriguez, it's been great having you. I know we got to let you go, but I can't this weekend. You got a big one. Friday, Tainted Love. Saturday, you and Jasmine Allure, Cold-Blooded Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. Where can the people find you on social media? What's the best place for them to check you out?
I'm glad you specified on social media.
Yes.
So, at one Amber Rodriguez on both Twitter and Instagram, and my Facebook fan page, Amber Rodriguez. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is under construction, but there will be more vignettes to come there, so subscribe to that. It's under Amber Rodriguez as well. And shop AshleyReneeBeauty.com and get you some holistic skincare products. We also have beard oil, we have milk baths, we have CBD salt baths, so check us out.
Damn. Hopefully at some point we can be big enough of a podcast where we can be like, you can get some of the CBD beard oil with code BRP or so. We'll figure it out.
Code Chaos, Cal. That's the code.
Chaos.
Yes. We'll talk. I'll have Brian reach out.
Thank you. Amber Rodriguez, thank you very much. Drip, thank you for coming through. My name is Calgate, youtube.com/Black Rasslin. Thursdays, we go live every week. This is a special edition. Check out Amber Rodriguez wherever she's at. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.